Okay, hello. Welcome to today's analysis of the NQ. Maybe I'll look at some other markets, but I'm going to stick to the NQ today. So yesterday, it's Tuesday, 2nd of September. So yesterday we were here, and I was saying that either they could come up to this gap, which is higher than this mitigation point, or taking into account this FEG tap or mitigation. Because of the area we were in and the this low that we took, we weren't quite sure if this was going to be kind of external liquidity leading to a change of character, or if it was just going to fall back into demand. And it fell back into demand. I said yesterday it could kind of come up higher, hit something small, which it did. I actually expected it to hit kind of higher zone, but it did that on Sydney and has been pushing down now. And we have a little break of structure here, and we are just sitting in a very broad demand area. So right now we're in a little area that for me is a bit iffy on taking longs, just because of what I said yesterday. The fact is, all our big catalysts are below us. Money flow is kind of diverging here locally, but it's kind of ripe for kind of up and then down and up and down and up and down, or one big swipe, right? Because we have news later. They could just keep it going sideways, swipe it down into the big demand, and then pull a big kind of V-shaped reversal for US. So immediately, it does seem like very local longs could work, but I would be very iffy on them. Immediately, I think a good place to be looking for maybe small shorts might be up around this zone, so around like this area, so 23,363, kind of up to 23,400 or so. But even then, coming into news, it's going to be very, very small scalps, I think, that you could grab, if anything. I don't know if a lot of moves here will carry much momentum to carry in through news. Now, it could, but I don't know. Like, liquidity-wise, I wanted to see us hit an external liquidity point. We've tapped a block. I talked about this block yesterday. I was like, I don't really like this block. It doesn't have many... it's this one here. It doesn't have any liquidity points leading into it. We're just breaking structure into it. This one. So it's a 24 minute block. But I don't know. We could get a bounce from here, I guess. We swiped this past daily VWAP. We're not really diving into it. The 2 hour looks potentially okay, but not right now. So I see really nice money flow absorption on the 2 hour, but 2 hour moves take long time to come to fruition. They can keep swiping lows, for this whole thing. And after this break of structure, which was fueled by this liquidity grab, there's nothing like we have to say that we can just fall through into this RTH gap. We can do that. So yeah, right now we're just moving sideways at this low. Kind of microstructure, like 1 minute, and even on like kind of 15-second, we have little tinges of bullish momentum that could be used for some recovery. Um, my models, none of them really applied, if I'm going to be honest, to today. Um, Liquidity points that were taken and stuff. It's not very clear with what their intention is for me. But if you want to just look at basic kind of, take away the timing models and look at some just straight up data, we have a lot of vector recovery above us that we could target. We have a block here. We have a 12-minute block, which was created after UK. We could come into this. It was responsible for an internal break downwards. Above it, we have more, but you see we have this liquidity curve here, which is Sydney, China, and UK Open, all kind of grouped into one area. Definitely looks like it wants to be taken. You could also group it in with yesterday's high, kind of. Not really, I guess. And that actually brings me on to my next point, is we have a point of control up here, which looks rather nice. Where is it? This one. It's pass range point of control. It's pretty naked. It looks like it could easily nicely get tapped. We also have kind of as what alpha would call like a final damage M here, taken out the high, divvying and then breaking structure. We have a nice kind of zone above it that could it could give us some good resistance. So whoa. It could give us some good resistance. So I would take profits below it in a perfect place if we did start coming up and recovering this local drop. Would be this point of control at 23,488. I like it. I like it. It's in local temp. Let's move this. Move it. Where are you? This guy. Yes, this point of control here. 23,489, and it's right above China's high, which would make sense. Now, granted, it's a bit far away. We might need a bit more time. It might be news that brings us up there. We could just spend time inducing around here, but it's definitely a little area to keep your eye on. Greater, like more midterm, I mean, we've come into this demand zone. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we just spend time in here, kind of pushing down into better, hitting bids, hitting born bids. Makes sense. Doesn't mean it has to happen right now. We can have a retracement back up into some very local liquidity and come back down and up and down. But I do think that before we move up, we could get a swipe or a few more swipes lower, potentially. When we do start coming back up, I'm looking at this RTH gap. I'm looking at this fair value gap right around this anchored VWAP around here. It's also the source of the change of character, the local change of character, which was fueled by the greater bearish pull, right? So, excuse me. I forget to put my phone on silent. By this, all right. So what was I saying? Yes, this. So this high external liquidity taken led to this change of character. This is why it's a squid, because it's linked to the greater bearish movement. It's a bit. This zone is a bit naked. We have a nice gap here with vector recovery. We can divot for sure. Come into it, fill up some orders, and at that stage, then like if they want to keep breaking up, they will do that, or we could get some more kind of reaccumulation or whatever at that stage. But I do think we can come up into this zone and dance around here. But what will get us there? I don't know. I do not know. So immediately right now, we've hit a hidden div with some internal money flow hidden divs. As I said, we could push down into this area here. I don't really like this block. I wouldn't be really longing much absorption into this block at all, so I'm going to get rid of it because it's just not my type of block. Yeah. Gold made a new high. That's something. It made a new high. It tapped a new high. It didn't really close up there, but yeah, it made a new high. So that's something to keep in your eye on. I'm not going to look at other markets too much today. I'm just going to stick to NQ. I want to focus on where NQ is. So yeah, I mean, not much has changed from yesterday, besides the fact that we had two outcomes that I was looking for yesterday, and this one is seeming to play out. I remember I said I wouldn't be, confidently longing in this zone. Obviously, you can get retracements in internally, but just because of the nature of this area, we can just push down and down and down and down, build way more liquidity. It doesn't mean we can't get a bounce from here. As I said, on the 2 hour, we have some nice money flow absorption, but yeah, those kind of moves, they can fake out indicators for a long time. So just, yeah, be careful. If I had to say a direction right now, sideways. Sideways, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a big short squeeze into a long squeeze into news. A bit of chop. So immediately, I mean, if I wanted to talk about trades right now, even though these are flat lows, we're technically in bullish structure. Even though the source of this bullish structure is not really a liquidity point, it's just kind of floating. So I wouldn't rely on it too much. If we start breaking this range, I think we could just knife down really, or slowly push down, and people just put their money into the chart, even though it doesn't really go anywhere. But if we did start to get some support pulling through here, we could totally get some recovery up into this zone. So yeah, that's it. That's it for me. I'm going to wait to have a look at what they do. And yeah, that's it. Seem to be hitting these equal lows here. Yeah. Let's see what they do. Let's see how they play with this little zone. It could be maybe, I mean, depending on your style, you could get some scalps for sure around here. We have this mitigation area here, this push up and then down, and we have some recovery that won't affect structure much. So yeah, I mean, you could get some scalps into there. Just be careful. Be careful. We're in a zone that they can just keep pushing. We didn't really get any divs or anything. I don't know how long the momentum we would get here would take us. I don't know how far it would take us, But yeah, It's just one of those days. They're setting up for news and big swipes, and US, you know, same way that UK is a lot of the time. But I mean, there could still be opportunity here for sure. Just play the scalps, play the little range that they make. Don't get hooked on big liquidity targets that are way out of your scope. You know, just be present in what's happening right now in the chart. Like, not right now, but when you're trading. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna target this. Yes, that's my trade. It's not probably not gonna work out. Well, I mean, I hope it does, but you know what I mean. Just stay grounded in what they're doing at the moment. Okay, happy trading, guys. I hope this helps, and see you tomorrow.